Sometimes love is just one giant gorge filled with creatures and monsters and hell on earth. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the Apple TV Plus original movie, The Gorge, the newest film from director Scott Derrickson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new Scott Derrickson action horror film, which he's kind of known for. This is a movie that stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller as two individuals who are tasked to basically relieve soldiers and patrol and keep safe this gorge that holds and hides unknown creatures called the Hollow Men. In the process, they kind of start to fall for each other. They find themselves kind of going after each other, and it ends up being an action monster movie where maybe they fall into the gorge and have to save themselves, and there may be big conspiracies. But it's in essence a two-person movie, and in essence of like a Twilight Zone-esque type story, if you want to think about it that way. So Scott Derrickson, as a director, has created some really good horror films in the last couple decades, between The Exorcism of Emily Rose and, of course, Sinister, which is one of my favorite decade-defining horror films. He's very capable of creating tension and mood and horrifying elements. So going into a movie like this, I was looking forward to it. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Miles Teller is really good as well. And it seemed from the trailer that it was going to be a pretty decently put together movie. It looked like it was going to cost a lot of money. And here I am finally officially watching it. This review comes out the day before it releases. And for my honest review of this movie, I got exactly what I was expecting, to be fairly honest. It's a movie that really feels by the book in a lot of respects. It really feels like it's doing some of the stuff you've seen before and actually pays homage and feels inspired by some maybe video game properties of certain Sony properties and stuff like that. But it's also very Scott Derrickson. It really feels like it has a lot of passion put behind like the creatures. It has a lot of passion put behind the story. Yeah, the story's a little road. It's a love story and stuff like that. But I think it does a lot of fun stuff. I think it has a lot of interesting ideas. I think it has a lot of error mystery that slowly gets revealed. I think it's, because you're coming into this story as the audience, there's something going to go spectacularly wrong that has never gone wrong in this story of these people watching this gorge. And I think it's a very pretty looking movie. It's from the guy who did Shape of Things when it comes to Shape of Water, when it comes to the cinematography, the director of photography and stuff like that. And I just think it's a little long, but I think for 2 hours, I think it's a very justifiable, fun entry point into this type of genre, which is people finding the horrors of what is in the gorge, to be fairly honest, and finding love in all the wrong places, to be fairly honest. But I think it also helps that Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller really feel like they have good chemistry together. And I think it's just a movie that is fun. I think it's entertaining. It's PG-13, so your kids can watch it. It's not, ultra violent, but it has violence in it that is kind of fun and energetic and stuff like that. Once again, is not really doing anything new or anything exceptional, but I think it has enough potential there that it's just a fun movie. I think the problem, like I said earlier, is it's just a little bit too long. It takes a little too long to get going. I think the story of Above the Gorge is less interesting than what happens in the gorge, and I think it leads to a conclusion that you can kind of see coming from like a million miles away, and it ends up like exactly how you expect it to. But I think it's, it does just enough, and it's fun enough, and it's entertaining enough that I think it is worthy of your time, especially if you have Apple TV Plus. This is the type of film that feels very at home to it. And I'm surprised it didn't come in theaters, because I think it would have played pretty well. He's made some money for Apple. But I think Scott Derrickson does a pretty competent job. It's not actually written by his writing partner, C. Robert Cargill, but he is the producer on the film. But it's also, it feels like a movie that may have been like a Peter Benchley book, to be fairly honest, or something of that nature, or something that, had come out in the 80s or 70s. That's kind of what it feels like a little bit, like a 70s like horror thriller in a lot of respects, because of the one set piece, the one location that it has. And once again, it does, the creatures do resemble similar creatures you've seen before, and like I said, other properties, but they're cool, they're entertaining. I think that why they're there is really kind of interesting and intriguing. I think the score that's created by Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor once again proves that they're just one of the best talent groups of individuals in the score market when it comes to composing. Trent Reznor's been around forever, but they have created some really unique scores. And I think they do a really nice job here, and it's fun and it's inventive and stuff like that. And once again, it is not a very original movie. I'm never saying it will be, but it's a movie that has a lot of fun. It has a lot of great chemistry. It has Sigourney Weaver in it, which is awesome. You know, she's playing a character she may have played before when it comes to the similarities. And I think overall, I think if you have Apple TV Plus and you have a couple hours to waste, I think this is a movie that'll be right up your alley. I really do. It's not the most horrifying. It's not like, you know, Annihilation or something like that, where it's truly horrifying, but it does have some messaging that is pretty cool, to be fairly honest, dealing with, you know, Cold War stuff and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's gonna be my take on The Gorge, which will be on Apple TV Plus. So definitely check it out if you have the service, but otherwise, that'll be it for my review. Anyways, with that said, in the comments below, when you see this movie, or if you have seen this movie, what do you think overall? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know why. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.